Hello there and welcome. This is as always Mikhail or Michael speaking, and before I start this video I want to say thank you all who decided to support me financially, be it through Patreon, PayPal or Super Thanks. I really appreciate your generosity, so thank you friends and have a blessed day. Now I will start today's video with the city of Bakhmut, or to be more specific, Russian offensive that is currently taking place in the general direction of Chasiv Yar. Here, for the most part, Russians attacked through this small opening right in between Chasiv Yar and the city of Bakhmut itself, and the success that followed those attacks is extremely crucial for this front. As a recent report suggests, Russian forces were able to successfully attack in the direction of this small portion of the Chasiv Yar itself, and advanced quite significantly. As you can see, Syriac maps had not updated that territorial change, but I'm sure soon he will. Interestingly enough, this territorial change is first reported by pro-Ukrainian sources, to be more specific, Deep State map, and this is how it looks. Here was the situation of yesterday, and here is the situation of today, with these territories coming in under Russian control. So the Russian gains here look something like this, and as you can see, this is pretty significant. Significance of this advance is easily explained by the fact that this tree line contained rather big and well-organized trench network system, which Russians captured a few hours ago. Here on this picture, you can see that trench system. Obviously, as you can see, the hardest fight was going on for this trench network system, which is significantly larger than these two smaller ones, but Russians successfully captured them. And as you can see, there are now just one tree line away from the first houses of the Chasiv Yar. As you can see, this force line does not have significant fortifications, only one here and one here, which Russians can easily bypass by just attacking in the direction of Chasiv Yar along this road and storm Ukrainian positions within this forest, control of which will allow Russians to advance further into the city of Chasiv Yar and capture this portion. It is also important to note that the eastern outskirts is defended by trench lines as well. However, northeastern part is not. So it seems that the battle for the Chasiv Yar will officially begin in a day or so. Perhaps as I speak, Russians already captured these positions and started storming Chasiv Yar itself. Then from here let's visit Avdiivka frontline and discuss the situation that is currently developing within the Pervomaysky and Vodyane villages, where two Russian forces continued their offense in the general direction of the Ukrainian-controlled village of Mykhailivka. And as a result of successful offensive action, this is exactly how much territories Russian forces took control of within the last 24 hours. So as you can see, they've captured a big chunk of Pervomaysky village itself, drawing out Ukrainians to the very last street of this settlement, as well as officially captured the village of Pervomaysky. Here on this video, you can see Russians planting a flag at the very outskirts of this village, which confirms its full capture. Of course, at this point, Ukrainian side had not acknowledged that as a fact, but I'm sure soon they will have nothing left but to agree to these territorial changes. From Mykhailivka, let's quickly visit the current situation in the village of Georgievka. Although there were no territorial changes, the fighting here continues non-stop, but the most interesting portion of this battle actually happened in the Ukrainian rear. As you can see, here Ukrainians have a regular bridge over the river, and here is the railroad one, which Ukrainians used to support their troops fighting in this entire region. And as you can see here on the video, Russians were able to destroy a portion of this bridge, thus paralyzing a big portion of Ukrainian logistics. As you can see, the damage is not that big, but Ukrainians will have to waste some time, weeks or perhaps months, to repair the bridge, and as those repairs are conducted, Ukrainian forces fighting in this area will not receive all the necessary equipments to fight effectively. Obviously, this attack is in support of Russians advancing in Georgievka, and in reality, Georgievka is just a first step, because after its capture, Russians will have to fight in Mykhailivka, which, as you can see, is significantly bigger than Georgievka, and Russians will have much harder time capturing it completely. Not going too far away, let's visit the village of Pobeda, and the most interesting thing that I want to show you about this particular portion of the front is no territorial changes, as they have not appeared yet, but a video of Russian bombardment of Ukrainian positions along many force lines. As you can see, the video itself is majestic, and I decided to share it with you. Now, before we move to the other portions of the front, I would like to ask you to kindly consider supporting this video if you liked it so far. a like, comment, and of course a subscription will be more than enough. Also, some of the people noticed that they have not received notifications of my videos being posted, as well as oddly unsubscribed from my channel. In order to avoid that problem, please do check your subscription again, and if you were unsubscribed, please comment on that under the comment section in the comment section of the video below. Also, don't forget to ring the notification bell, as it will increase the chances of you being notified when I post a new video. Thank you for considering all those actions, and let's move on with the video. From here, let's move further to the south and discuss situation in the village of Mykhailivka, where all across the front, Russian forces continue to apply pressure and are actively storming within the village itself, as well as to the north and in the south. And as a result of successful restarted offensive operations in the south of Mykhailivka, Russians took these territories in the process and are currently fighting for the very important trench line, which you can see depicted on this picture, the control of which will greatly expand Russian opportunities to advance on this front, not only in the direction of the Ukrainian formations that are still defending the western portion of the village, but also in the direction of the supply road in attempt to cut it, as well as in the direction of Avdiivka, and of course the significantly bigger town of Konstantinivka. Of course, the offensive operations in the direction of Avdiivka and Konstantinivka in usual case should have been conducted after the fall of Mykhailivka, but in case if Russians were going to be able to extend their zone of control here and capture this big portion of the territory, which as you can see is already located in the gray zone, and only this portion is still in Ukrainian hands due to the fact that it is where the trench is located. This is why I marked this exact territory, because with its fall, this big chunk of territory will come under Russian control. And now, at the very last, let's discuss situation in Zaporizhzhia, or to be more specific, Rabotine salient. As you know, Russian offensive here continues, with Russians fighting currently within Rabotine village itself, as well as attacking from the west in attempt to cut off and take control of this road, which leads to Novodanilivka and Orikhiv. Russians are also attacking from the east along this road here in the general direction of Mykhailivka, through this road as well, and Novodanilivka, as well as all across this portion of the front in the obvious attempt to finally close off this salient. And as a result of successful offensive operations, those are the exact territories which Russians took control over the last 24 hours. With it, we can see that slowly but surely Russians are advancing in an obvious pincer maneuver, and the tighter the bottleneck will become, the less likely we will hear of the Ukrainian withdrawal. At this point, they still have this possibility, although it is going to be extremely dangerous to do so through this route. However, under the cover of the night and along the many tree lines that are located here in this open area, Ukrainians may successfully withdraw all of their infantry. I'm sure they are keeping this as an option, but are desperately fighting for the control over the salient and the village of Rabotine itself, as the time bought in these bloody battles will allow them to construct more fortifications in the rear to defend village of Novodanilivka and city of Orikhiv from obviously coming Russian counteroffensive and subsequent attacks. With this, I end today's video. Hopefully it was to your liking and was informative enough. As always, humanity calls me to condemn all violence against human beings. Have a good day, and always remember, Russia will be free and great.